We've been speaking with my friend, the great Rod Martin. He's a terrific guy. He's got an amazing Substack. You can find it at rodmartin.org. And every day there's something new in my inbox that's informative, it's enlightening, it's powerful, it's excellent. And I've watched him as his followers have exploded because people really want to know what Rod Martin is thinking on all of these great topics. We just covered Doge and the deep state. Now I want to talk about Trump's international policies. Greenland, which people were laughing at about a month ago, Rod came out and said, hey, don't laugh. And not only that, it seems like the people of Greenland would like this. Can you explain why Donald Trump is fascinating on this tiny little country known as Greenland?
Well, Greenland, of course, isn't tiny. It's the size of the Louisiana Purchase. It's bigger than Alaska. It's bigger than Texas
but
and
in
Alaska.
Population, it's tiny.
But it's only 57,000 people. That's exactly right. I grew up in a town of 20,000 in Arkansas, and this place is just barely bigger than that. So what's it good for? Well, we have significant bases there and have for decades because Greenland is the outer end of what we call the Greenland-Iceland-UK gap. It is some of the most important oceanic real estate that exists because the Russians don't have a way to get their navy out of St. Petersburg and the Baltic. They don't have a way to get their navy out of the Black Sea. They can't even really keep a navy in the Black Sea because the Ukrainians keep blowing up all their ships with drones. It's a joke. They're bottled up at Vladivostok behind Japan. So their one way to get out and attack Atlantic shipping, which would be essential if they invaded Europe, because America has to move its army from North America to Europe by ship. And this is called Operation Reforger. It's a 2-week process. And if the Russian Navy can get out there and blow up the ships in the water, it could overrun Europe, or at least that was the theory in the Cold War. I don't think they can even get to Kiev now, much less Berlin, but that's the threat that we're defending against. That's what NATO is allegedly for. So the most important thing you have to be able to control is that Greenland, Iceland, UK gap, and Greenland, of course, is key. In addition, tons of natural resources. People have no idea. And Denmark has no capacity to develop it. They don't have the technology. They don't have the money. They don't have the personnel. It would have to come from either us or China. And that's the real threat. If China gets control of that, it deteriorates our strategic position. It also gives them their economy a huge shot in the arm. It also puts them in a place which is much closer to the United States than anything else they could possibly have. So it's a real danger. Denmark can't handle the territory. We can make those guys a deal where they will fall all over themselves to come. And as you know, there was recently a poll, 57% of Greenlanders said they wanted to be part of the United States. And the younger you are, the more you wanted to.
Yeah, and that's amazing because if they could be another Puerto Rico and be like tax exempt or have some special benefits and treatment and citizenship, it'd be an amazing thing. All right, so Trump is not, they said, oh, what a crazy man he is to talk about Greenland. He's actually a brilliant man to talk about Greenland, and that is to handle the Atlantic. But what about the Panama Canal issue? I mean, I think he's brilliant here as well, and he had a big win there, at least according to what I read at rodmartin.org.
Well, in point of fact, the Panama Canal is what our last territorial purchase from Denmark was about. We bought the Danish Virgin Islands in 1917 under Woodrow Wilson to protect the approaches to the brand new Panama Canal. The canal is absolutely essential for U.S. economic security as well as national security. It's just extraordinary what enormous percentage of our shipping flows through that very narrow place.